Good morning. This is November 8th, Thursday, 2023, and we are in business communication class. And we are doing November 9th, Thursday, 2003, and we started the third chapter, Communication Challenges in a Diverse Global World, where we will read about opportunities and challenges of intercultural communication, and we'll also read about cultural competency. Ms. Thapa presented yesterday, I think, and influence of cultures and business communication. Today we will have presenters who will talk about importance of recognizing cultural variations. You should know the differences among so many cultures, how to know the differences among cultures, and 8 key dimensions of cultural diversity. We will understand what is cultural diversity, and we will understand how cultural diversity affects business. Then the next presenter will talk about guidelines for adopting to any business culture. You are a Nepali, you want to start a business in China and you don't know Chinese culture, so how you can follow Chinese culture and do business successfully. Then the last presenter will talk about the 6 steps we can take to improve intercultural communication. Are you aware? In every chapter, if you are aware, in every chapter, the last learning skill is what you can learn from this chapter. Have you seen? Yes. In chapter 1 also, the 6th learning objective was 6 skills from this chapter. In chapter 2, the same. Third same. So in every chapter, the last question is what you will learn from this chapter. So let me invite, and I didn't talk about this story. I'll request you that when you read a chapter, every chapter begins with a case study. What is a case study? In business communication, a case study is a real story about business. A case is a real story about business. And in your book, every chapter starts with a real story about business. And the purpose of these real stories is to make you understand that concept of the chapter. For example, here the concept is challenges in diverse global marketplace. So diversity is the theme of this chapter, and if you read this case about communication close up at Siemens AG, then you will see that this story will talk about diversity at the workplace and how that company is exploiting this cultural diversity to develop itself. For example, look here. It says Siemens values diversity in its workforce through the inclusion and collaboration of different perspectives, backgrounds, ages, levels of experience and expertise across all organizational levels. If you read the next paragraph, just one sentence per paragraph I'll focus on. Next paragraph, check it quickly. Look here. TED Talk titled Using the Power of Being Different. Janya Kugel, a former personnel manager at Siemens, urged potential leaders to adopt to and understand different perspectives. If you want to manage a global organization, you need to listen to people. Now, second sentence, I'll read only one sentence per paragraph, and I want you to request that you read this story at home. Here, in its diversity fact sheets, Siemens shows how all genders contribute to business success. Last paragraph. According to Maria Ferraro, Siemens' new chief diversity officer, diversity and inclusion are good qualities to encourage for their own sake. So I sincerely request you that at home first read that case, because that story which comes at first in the chapter makes you understand the theme of the chapter. The theme of this chapter is cultural diversity. And here you have a story about Siemens company, how they value cultural diversity and how they develop. Okay, so yesterday I presented on opportunities and challenges of communication in diverse world, where we began by defining diversity as something that makes you different from others. Then we defined intercultural communication as sending and receiving messages between people whose cultural background could lead them to interpret messages differently. Yesterday she gave this message and I misinterpreted the message, right? For example. Then I talked about opportunities in global market, right? We talked about that if we have diversity, we have multiple viewpoints, we better understand the different markets, and we can have different talents if we encourage diversity in the workplace. And then we also did like challenges. For example, we may have language problems, we may have non-verbal sign problems, we may have difficult to understand word meanings, time and space differences, and differences of human relationship. And then okay, today we'll start with developing cultural, I guess Ms. Thapa presented yesterday. She talked about cultural competency, where we defined competency as appreciation for cultural differences that affect communication and the ability to adjust one's communication style to match the situation. Cultural competency is you understand different cultures, you know the differences of communication, and you can adjust to that. You don't have problem. Yes. Yeah, it's going. I guess it's turn on. Yeah, it's this side. Then we defined culture how as shared system of symbols, beliefs, attitudes, values, expectations, and behavior. We all belong to Nepali culture, so we have shared values and symbols and belief systems, for example. Then in class yesterday, we talked about overcoming ethnocentrism and stereotyping. I guess we missed this thing yesterday. Let me read that. What is ethnocentrism? Tendency to judge all other groups according to the standards, behaviors, and customs of one's own group. I'm Brahmin, I'm Aryan, I'm Brahmin. And if I see a Gurung, for example, then I may judge a Gurung student from Brahmin standards and I'll fail, right? I should understand that his culture is different, my culture is different, right? Treating other people on the basis of your cultural standards is wrong. That is called ethnocentrism, right? Then we read about xenophobia. What is fear of strangers and foreigners? If I see somebody from foreign country, I have suspicion. Oh, he must be a bad guy because I don't know him, right? Xenophobia. Then we read about stereotyping. What is that? Assigning generalized attributes to an individual on the basis of membership in a particular group. At the back of buses and trucks in Kathmandu Valley, I see one slogan, "Has mat pagli pyar ho jayega." That's stereotyping. That's a wrong idea. That's a wrong idea. If you smile at somebody, it does not mean you have fallen in love with them. But in South Asian culture, have you seen? If women smile, we misinterpret as if they are interested in us. हंस रही है, कुछ है, जैसे ना कुछ भी नहीं है, क्या है, कुछ भी नहीं है. हंसने से क्या हो जाता है, कुछ भी नहीं है. अरे कोई हंस रहा है तो क्या तो मुझसे हंसी तो फंसी जैसे. Look how bad thinking. हंसी तो फंसी. A bad thinking. That is stereotype. What is stereotype? Stereotype is, suppose I say, how are Nepalese girls? Then they say, नेपाली केटीहरू लजालु हुन्छ, लामो कपाल पालेको हुन्छ, बिचबाट सिउँदो काट्छ, दुईतिर चुल्ठी बाट्छ, पटुकी लगाउँछ, चोली लगाउँछ, गुन्यु लगाउँछ. Then on the basis of this definition, I meet Miss Thapa. I look at her. लजालु छैन, चुल्ठी बाटेको छैन, पटुकी लगाएको छैन, गुन्यु चोली पनि छैन, फास्ट फरवर्ड छ, ओपन माइन्डेड छ, आउट गोइङ छ, खालटट्टा गर्छ, कहिलेकाहीँ स्ल्याङ पनि बोलिदिन्छ, बोल्ड केटी छ. Now that definition of lazalu kind fails in her. So that's stereotype. That is called stereotype. Right? Ideas about people which are not based on fact. Okay? Then cultural pluralism. What is that? Acceptance of multiple cultures on their own terms. In my class, if she is a Gurung, I should accept her practices. If he is from Tarai, I should accept his practices. If she is from Thakali, I should accept her cultural practices. Right? If I'm Brahmin, you accept my cultural practices. For example, if I'm a Muslim, then I'll wash like this. Muslims do like this. We wash like this, right? We wash like this. Muslims wash like this. Just opposite. Look, she's surprised. This is her, she's saying. Look, she's surprised. She's shocked. But, we should accept this normal. Accept other people's cultural practices even if they differ from yours. That is called cultural pluralism. Then what we read? We read about avoiding ethnocentrism. Never judge people from other culture on the basis of standards of your culture. तिमी रक्सी खान्छौ, म बाहुन, म रक्सी खाँदिनँ. अब मैले छि भन्ने होइन नि त, कल्चर हो नि त. म बाहुन खाँदिनँ, तिमी खान्छौ, भइहाल्यो नि त. राइट? I should accept. Right?
Do you eat buff?
No.
Pork?
No. Never. No, never. Look, if you eat buff and pork, I don't. I should take it normal. I should take it easy.
Are you based on non-vegetarian?
I am non-veg, but I don't eat buff and pork. Because you can see, I'm a bit rigid. Rigid. Very, a kind of traditional kind of individual. And you have to accept that, right?
I also don't.
Because my family has the same background. Okay.
I also don't eat, but I don't have that.
Yeah. Now we'll invite the next presenter who will talk about importance of recognizing cultural variations and 8 key dimensions of cultural diversity. Let's invite, who is coming up? Come. Okay, come. There is a marker. And sir, could you please clip it in the collar? Up in the collar?
You need to write the topic.
Yeah. You are a teacher. Right? He's a teacher, for example. So take the marker and let me help you. Okay, that's fine. त्यसलाई नछोप्ने, छोप्यो भने पफी आवाज आउँछ कि. यसलाई कभर गरेपछि पफ हुन्छ फेरि आवाज. यसरी ठिक छ. First, at the center, write the topic, draw a circle, arrows, and go on.
Importance of recognizing cultural variations. So,
Now explain.
the importance of recognizing cultural variations. So, first of all, what is a culture? So, culture is a shared system where people follow the same religion, custom, caste, languages, foods.
What is your last name?
Bodgami.
You are Newar.
Yeah.
I'm a Brahmin. So broadly we have Nepali culture, but within Nepali culture we have this variation, right? Newari culture and Brahmin culture. Yes, go on.
So, cultural variation simply means people following different cultures.
Okay.
So, it is very important to recognize each other cultures for the maintenance of peace and harmony in the environment, in the community.
For example, a few months before in Dharan, there was an issue about eating beef. Do you remember? Some people said it's our cultural practice to eat beef. Officer, it hurts us. We respect that animal. And there was a big problem. Did you see? When we don't tolerate cultural variation, we have difficulty. Yes, go on.
So it is very important to accept and cooperate together each other's
Yes, good.
culture. So the 8 key
It's a touch, you
dimension-
can use it and up and down. Yeah.
the 8 key dimensions of cultural diversity:
Let's read one by one. Read out, just headings.
context, age, laws and ethics, gender, social customs, religion, non-verbal signs, signals, ability.
So what is context? Pattern of physical signals in a culture. What is laws and ethics? Do's and don'ts in a culture. What is social customs? Formal, informal rules of behavior. What you should do, what you should not do. What is non-verbal signal? Saying message without words. What is age? How people respect you by age. Then what is gender? What culture teaches you to do and not do as a man. Logne manche bhaira runu hudaina. Mr. Amartya sings. What is his name? Ishwar Amartya. There is one singer, Amartya, who sings Logne manche bhaira runu hudaina. That's a gender. Because culture is teaching. If you're a boy, don't cry. If you're a girl, it's okay, you can cry. But culture. Then what is the next point? Let's check quickly. Last point, religion, right? Expectations of religious expression and degree and ability. Accommodation for the full spectrum of physical and cognitive abilities. Go on, move ahead, next. Yeah.
So the differences of contextual cultures.
Yeah. What
So
are they?
the ethnicity comes in first place. So it means different ethnic groups can have unique languages, traditions, and historical backgrounds that shape their cultural identity. Second one is race. Race is often linked to physical characteristics and can influence experiences, perceptions, and social treatment. Third, religion. Religious beliefs and practices play a significant role in shaping culture and can vary widely across different groups. Fourth, language. Language is a fundamental aspect of culture, and variations in language can impact communication and identity. Gender and sexual orientation. Cultural norms related to gender roles and sexual orientation can vary gently, affecting social interactions and expectations. Sixth, socioeconomic status. Economic and social factors can influence a person's cultural experience, from access to education and healthcare to lifestyle and values. Seventh, geography and location. Where a person lives or has lived can greatly influence their culture, including urban versus rural,
City
coastal,
culture, village culture.
and inland and regional variations.
Okay.
And the last one is general differences. The values and traditions of different generations within a culture can vary, leading to intergenerational tensions.
I
and
have a
change.
question. I have a question. How did you prepare this note you're using? How did you prepare it? Share. How did you prepare
Google.
it? Google. Okay, fine. Did you go through the textbook?
Yes, sir.
You went through? Okay, go on. Go on.
So, tension and change in cultural practices. So that much.
Thank you. Give a big hand. Well done. From this side. From this side. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you from this side. So before I call the next person, let me quickly help you with this topic. What is high context culture? What is high context culture? If you can see the definition here. See, what is cultural context? Patterns of physical cues, environmental stimuli, how you know the hints in a culture to understand people. What is high context culture? A culture where communication is based on non-verbal action. If you use more body language, gesture, posture, that is high context. What is low context? Where you use more words, right? Okay, then legal ethical differences. Cultures have different legal ethical differences. For example, if you go to a Muslim country, you should not have eye contact with a stranger. If you have with a strange woman, you'll be punished. You are walking down the road, somebody on the window, and look at them, you get punished. Here it's okay, right? So then you have legal ethical differences. Then you have social norms like attitudes toward work and success. In Nepali culture, what kind of work is respected? Where you don't have to work physically, right? There's a safa garnu paryo भने त राम्रो जो मान्दैन नि. Whereas in American culture, every work is equally respected, right? Similarly, roles and status. Here, who is respected in Nepali culture? Who has a high position, high status, right? Not work, your status. Hakim. See the word Hakim. Then you have manners, right? Different cultures have different manners, right? Then concept of time. In Nepali culture, time has a different concept. Nobody minds about time. Nobody follows time, right? We are relaxed. In American culture, you strictly follow time, right? In the same way, you have future orientation. Nepali people are more about past and present. Americans are more about future. They think about tomorrow. We more think about past. Hijo ke thiyo, right? Our parents. Openness and inclusiveness. Americans, Europeans, for example, are more open. They can easily talk about sex, for example. Yesterday, I happened to say something, we were embarrassed, right? So we are less open. We are less open. In this class also, some of you are more open. Some of us are less open, right? Then, what do we have? Then we have non-verbal communication. What is that? Like greetings, how do you greet? Then personal space, whether you stand very close to somebody or at a distance, or even people stand very close. Americans stand at a distance, for example. In the same way, touching, are you allowed to touch or not? In Nepali culture, if a boy touches a girl whom he or she doesn't know, it's a bad thing, right? Then you have facial expressions, right? Speaking with face, if you're not happy, like that, if happy, your face shows your attitude, right? The same way you have like eye contact. If a boy has frequent eye contact with the girl in public, it's a bad thing. My daughter was going to Delhi and she said, Daddy, kalo chasma kin dinu? I said, Kina? India janu parcha, jaँ यसो लाउनु पर्छ. Kina? त्यो मान्छेहरु कस्तो घुर्दो रहेछ त्यसै भने साथीहरुले ट्रेनमा त एकदम घुरिया-घुरी गर्छ रे. And she bought a black glasses, goggles. But in that culture, people stare at you. And in our culture, if a male stares as a female, that's not a good thing, right? Staring. Then you have like postures, how do you stand up, how do you sit, formality, informality. Then age differences. In Japanese culture, old age brings automatic respect in society. In European culture, age does not bring respect, your talent brings respect, right? So then we have, what else? Gender differences, what do men do, what do women do in cultural differences, right? Then religious differences, he has talked a lot about that, I guess, quickly he talked. Ability differences, then finally, okay. Now we'll call the next presenter who is presenting on the fourth learning objective, where we'll read about adapting to other business culture. How you can follow others' business culture. Who was given this? Who was given it? Who was given fourth LO?
यतिमा होइन म त्यहाँ थिएँ
Present anyone?
Susan absent here.
Okay.
तिमी आथ्यौ?
like
तिमीहरु त आथ्यौ?
Okay, wait a minute. I'm coming to you. Just a minute. Yes, go on. Let's do it together. Yeah. So, adapting to other business culture, right? So, what does it mean? Suppose you are Nepali and you want to start a business in Tibet. So you should follow Tibetan culture, right? So you should recognize their practices, customs. So read the first thing. Become aware of your own bias. What is bias? If I'm a Brahmin, what's your last name? Kesi, Kshetri. So Brahmins and Kshetris may have cultural variations slightly, right? So if I treat you according to my thinking, it's wrong. So I should know how Brahmins behave, and then I should be aware that you are not a Brahmin or a Kshetri, so you won't behave the same way, right? What is the second example?
Be careful about applying the golden rule.
What is golden rule? Read this. Treat people the way they want to be treated. Have you heard people say, treat others the way you want them to treat you? People say, treat others the way you want them to treat you. And the golden rule is, treat others the way they want you to treat them. So I should treat Miss Thapa not the way I want Miss Thapa to treat me. I should treat Miss Thapa the way Miss Thapa wants me to treat her. Did you get me?
No.
No, right? Keep thinking, and see if you can get me. Did anyone get me? Did anyone get me? Normally we say, treat other people as you want other people to treat yourself, right?
Yes. Okay.
Behave with others as you want them to behave with you. Normal rule?
Yeah.
The golden rule is, behave with others as they expect you to behave.
Okay. Bujhe.
I repeat, first normal rule is, behave with Suraksha as you expect Suraksha to behave with you. Normal rule. Golden rule, behave with Suraksha as Suraksha expects me to behave with her. Point is, if you are a businessman and Suraksha is your customer, so understand your customer and behave accordingly. Don't impose your philosophy on Suraksha.
Yes, sir.
Don't impose your thinking on your customer. Right? Have you seen? If I'm a salesperson in a shop and if I don't understand my customer and I follow my own rules, my business will fail. Are you getting my point? Yes, go on. What is next? Kahan pugyo? Oh God. Where are we? Learning objective 6.
यो त मेरो वाला थियो तल हो त
5.
तल हैन
कहाँ पुग्यो?
त्यो तल हो माथि
होइन.
जानुहुन्छ।
Learning objective 4.
त्यो त युनिट 2 हो सायो अनि च्याप्टर 2 हामी च्याप्टर 3 मा
Oh, कहाँ पुर्याएछ नि त? आमा आमा.
अस्ति मैले गरेको
हे भगवान प्रभु. हाँ. ध्वस्त बनाएछौ नि त तिमीले. Here we are. Learning objective 2, 3, 4. कहाँ गयो? सारा कहाँ पुर्याएको छ? Yes, 4, yes. Be accommodating and respectful even if you don't understand or agree. While dealing with him, we may have disagreements, but I should be ready to work with him, right? And I should respect even if I don't agree with him. You may disagree, but show respect to people even if they differ from you. What is the next point?
Be patient and maintain a sense of humor.
Okay, be patient. Don't lose your patience. Don't hurry, right? Don't shout at people. And maintain a sense of humor. Have some sense of humor, funny nature, funny behavior, right? Don't be always very dull and strict and boring like Divakar sir. What is next?
Guidelines for adapting to US business culture.
If you go to America, the first thing, understand that Americans respect individualism. For Americans, the individual is more important than the family and society. Your desires are more important than what the society thinks, right? The person is more important. Equality. Americans treat all people as equal, right? They don't discriminate, at least in
Who don't discriminate?
at least in theory. At least in
American
theory.
people,
Yeah.
they are the most racist people.
Really, you have this experience.
No.
How can you say so?
But they are racist.
How can you say so?
I don't have any example for that.
But why you got that impression that you are racist? What
Yeah,
gave
movies, clips.
movies, clips? But maybe movies.
They kill black people.
Okay, okay. You have evidence from news, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you. So they are equal, they believe equality in theory, but not in practice, okay? Next, privacy and personal space. Americans believe in privacy. You cannot never enter someone's room without knocking, for example. Never visit people without appointment, for example. Then time and schedule. Americans very strictly follow clock time. And they plan everything. They have schedule, right? They are busy. They use time as money. What is next?
Religion.
Religion. Americans are liberal, right? They are not orthodox. They believe in religious freedom. Next.
Communication skill.
Let's quit. I don't know. Let's quit that. What is the next heading? Read it.
Improving.
Okay, thank you. Well done. What's your name, sir? What's your name?
Sanjog.
Huh?
Sanjog.
Sanjog. Say thank you, Dibakar, sir. Because I helped you, right? Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Now we call the last presenter who will talk about improving intercultural communication skills. Who is that? Who was given? Yeah. Come. कसलाई हो त कसलाई हो त Okay, Susan, come. Susan was given, right? Susan was given. You're so funny people, right? Okay, Susan, just do your best, no problem. Just let's. So what is the topic we have got? Improving intercultural communication skills. Move ahead. Go on. Wait a minute. Yeah. No. Okay. Go on.
So today we will be talking about improving intercultural communication skills. Communicating successfully across cultures requires a variety of skills.
Wait. Read this.
Successful intercultural communication can require the modification of personal communication habits.
Okay. Suppose we belong to cultures, and so intercultural communication is you modify the communication as per the situation, right? You can change your style as per the surrounding situation. Yes, then read. Okay, let's read this graph. Let's read it. It may help us. Components of successful intercultural communication. Okay, overcome ethnocentrism. What's your last name? Gurung. I am Brahmin. Now, if I am working under you, yes, you are my boss. You are Gurung. I am Brahmin. Now, do not treat me as a Gurung, because understand that I am not a Gurung person. So I have cultural differences. So don't impose your culture on me. I also shouldn't impose my culture on you. We should understand each other's culture and respect. Do not impose your cultures on other people. Read the next one.
Recognize cultural variations.
Understand that in this class there are 10 people. They come from 10 communities. They belong to 10 races and places, and they have difference of culture, and respect that, right? What is the next one?
Enhance sensitivity to culture and diversity.
Okay. Be very careful not to hurt people culturally. Suppose you drink. I do not drink.
He doesn't drink.
Okay, let's say you drink because your culture allows that. So now I should not judge you on the basis of that habit. I should understand that in his culture drinking is common. In my culture it's not common. So if I don't drink, you don't think that I'm conservative. Don't say that, because respect. In my culture drink is not normal. In yours it might be normal. Respect cultural differences. Do not make fun of people. Then what is the next? Read it.
Effective communication across cultures.
And I read this one.
Improve intercultural communication skills.
This one.
Study other culture and languages.
Okay. Study other culture and language. For example, I speak fluent Hindi. बड़ी अच्छी हिंदी आती है, आप बात करिए हमसे। अगर मैं आपसे हिंदी में बात करूंगा तो आपको लगेगा मैं हिंदुस्तान से हूं।
No.
अरे मिस्ठा पतवर के का पता बा, तू जाने लू हमरा के इतना बढ़िया भोजपुरी आवेला। हम जो ने चल गई देहात में तरिया में, अब मान लो हम वो होटल खोलनी तो बड़ा बढ़िया कॉल बिजनेस। कहाँ जाने लू कहे अरे रुका ने पहले इनसे बतिया दब ना, तो हमरा के भोजपुरी आवेला। हम मान लो चाय के दुकान खोले गांव में तराई में, तो जो लोग यहाँ हमारे दुकानिया में उन लोग भोजपुरी आ गई ना, तो हम बढ़िया से कॉल आई कैन स्पीक इंग्लिश, नेपाली पनि आउँछ, लिटरली संस्कृत आउँछ। When you know multiple languages, when you know many languages, you are at benefit. What is your mother tongue?
Sir, right.
Rai. You speak Rai?
No, I don't know.
No, this is a weakness, right? Being a Rai, no Rai. Learn. What is the next language you speak? How many languages do you speak?
English,
English, Hindi.
Nepalese,
Good. Are you learning any other language? Like Chinese, French?
French, and
French. Do you speak French?
little bit.
Little bit.
Bonjour.
Yeah. Good morning. What does it mean?
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Next, read this one.
Write and speak clearly.
Always write clearly and speak clearly in business communication. Read this line.
Respect styles and preferences.
Okay. People have their own style of eating, drinking, clothing, right? Respect that. Then,
Listen carefully.
always listen very carefully, right? Then,
Use interpreters, translator, and translation software.
okay. Sometimes you find somebody who speaks Arabic. Raksha speaks Arabic. You have no idea about Arabic. For example, now you get him to translate Arabic to you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Right? Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam. Is the idea? Let's move ahead. What is next? Read this.
Details to consider.
Doing business in other culture. Read this heading.
Understand social customs.
Read this question.
How do people respect strangers? Are
Okay,
they-
understand how people respect. Read it loudly. Read it.
And are they friendly? Hostile, reserved? How do people greet each other? How should you bow? Nod, shake hands? How do people express appreciation for an invitation to lunch, dinner, or someone's home? Are any phrases, facial expressions, or hand gesture considered rude?
Rude.
How do you attract the attention of a waiter? And why? When is it rude to refuse an invitations? How do you refuse politely? What topics may or may not be discussed in a social setting, in a business setting?
Okay, the point is understand the customs of other cultures, right? What is this heading? Read it out.
Learn about clothing and food preferences.
Okay, know how Muslims clothe, how Gurungs clothe, how Rais clothe, for example. Read this one.
Access political patterns.
Understand political parties and their principles. This one.
Understand religious and
Social beliefs. This one.
Learn about economic and business institutions.
Yeah, know economic realities and then
Appraise the nature of ethics, values, and laws.
understand what is right, wrong in different cultures, right? Then what is the next?
Studying other languages.
Okay, learn languages. There are, for example, there are apps that can translate on mobile phone.
Nice.
Like for example, what is the app here?
Google Translate.
Google Translate, right? You can use Google Translate. Then what is next? Read it.
Respecting preferences for communication styles.
Okay, let's go down and quickly see what is there.
Writing clearly.
Write clearly. Or read the setting.
Choose words clearly.
Choose words carefully. Next.
Avoid words with multiplication.
Okay, don't use words with multiple meanings, right? Confusions. Then read it.
Write short, clear sentences.
Next.
Keep paragraphs short.
Next.
Use translation generously.
Next.
Address international correspondence properly.
Cite numbers
Cite
and dates in local
dates in
format.
local formats.
Okay. Then what is next? Read it.
Avoid slang and idiomatic phrases.
Next.
Generally avoid the humor and references to
Popular culture, right? And then speaking and listen carefully, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what we have? Did we read next also? Okay. Helping others adopt to your culture, right? Read this checklist, read this, understand.
Understand your own culture so that you can recognize its influence on your communication habits. Study other cultures so that you can appreciate cultural variations. Study the language of people with whom you communicate, even if you can learn only a few basic words and phrases. Help non-native speakers learn your language. Respect cultural preferences for communication styles. Write clearly using brief messages, simple languages, generous translations, and appropriate international conventions. Avoid slang, humor, and references to popular culture. Speak clearly and slowly, giving listeners time to translate your words. Ask for feedback to verify that communication was successful. Listen carefully and ask speakers to repeat anything you don't understand.
Thank you, well done. Now we have 10-minute time. We have 10-minute time. Take a copy and pen. Open a new page. Open a new page. Open a new page. Now your job is, it's a test, unit test.
When?
Right now.
Now?
Yeah, right now. Right now. And the test is, in 10 minutes, on one page, prepare a rough outline of this chapter that we talked today. Unit test, 10 marks, 10 minutes, not detail. On one page, just like this, go like this, go like this. This is your page. Suppose, how you will do? Look here, go like this. Just a minute, just a minute. Go like this. Write chapter title here in a copy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Write LO1, LO2, LO3, LO4, LO5. Now write the heading, write the heading, write the heading, write the heading, write the heading. Now give arrow 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe 4, possibly, who knows, you just decide. And here, write main idea. And here, write examples or subheadings. For example, if you were doing learning objective 5, for example, I'll quickly show you how to do. Okay, learning objective 5. So if I was making this number 5, I'll go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll write study other culture. So what you do, quickly scan, and if you see something in blue color, note down. If you see boldface, note down, and in 10 minutes, prepare an outline of this chapter. This is a 10-mark unit test. And now do it. This exam, surprise exam. You can copy from your friend, but you cannot copy blindly.
Chapter naam kya?
No, I actually forgot.
Yeah, help her. Help her find out name of chapter. Communication challenges in a diverse global marketplace. Chapter. Communication challenges in a diverse global marketplace. 10 minutes, 10 marks, you will develop an outline of the chapter. Keep writing, just write. Keep writing, sir. Pen. I have one for you. I should ask for one. You can help one another, no problem. You can help. Please take help from your friend if you need. Do not copy blindly, but take help. You can take support. You can open the book and read. You can copy. So I'm closing my recording. You keep writing. You keep writing.